In North Carolina, there's a check you write that you don't get back. Not if the inspection is a disaster. Not if the appraisal comes and go. Not if you change your mind at 2 in the morning. And on July 1st of this year, the rules around that check changed. It's called the due diligence fee. If you're relocating from another state, this may not exist where you're from. Most states don't actually have it. So you show up to buy a house in Charlotte. You sit down with me to write your offer, and there's a line asking how much are you giving the seller? Money you don't get back. And I hear, what's that? Do I have to? So let's walk through what that means before you're sitting at that table. I'm Evie DeJesus. I'm a realtor here in the Charlotte area. Today, I'm covering what the due diligence fee actually is, what makes the number go up or down, and the change that hit on July 1st. Also, the deadline on your contract that decides whether your earnest money is still yours. 2 checks. Let's start with the one most are familiar with. Check 1 is the earnest money. That sits with an escrow agent, a neutral third party. Nobody spends it. If you terminate during your due diligence window, you should get that money back. I said should. Hold that thought because I'll be coming right back to it in a few. Now, check 2 is the due diligence fee. This is the one that confuses first-time home buyers in North Carolina. This fee goes straight to the seller, not escrow, to the seller. This fee is delivered to the seller directly, and if you walk away, they keep it. You don't get any of this fee back. So what does this due diligence fee buy you? Time. A window that allows you to terminate that contract for any reason. Bad inspection, you got a bad feeling, your job offer got pulled. You can terminate for any reason at all. You do lose the due diligence fee, but you're out. And if you close on the house, this amount is credited toward your purchase price. You only actually lose it if you walk away. This window of time is negotiable. A typical due diligence window can be anywhere from 7 to 21 days, maybe longer. But again, this window is negotiable. Now, the number you're probably wondering, how much is a due diligence fee? There's no fee schedule for this. The North Carolina Real Estate Commission says the due diligence fee is negotiated. There is no set number. Some factors that should be taken into account are current market conditions. How long has that house been sitting? The seller's situation, and how long of a due diligence window are you actually asking for? On a house that's been sitting 60 days or longer, I've written offers with a small due diligence fee, and the seller took it because they wanted out. On a house that hit the market on Thursday with 4 offers already by Sunday, the buyer who won was the one who put a substantial amount of money down. Again, this is a negotiating tool. It is not a bill you're handed. So make sure you have this conversation with your real estate agent. Now, what changed July 1st? North Carolina Realtors updated the standard offer to purchase contract known as Form 2T, and this update goes in the buyer's favor. The old rule was if your due diligence fee didn't reach the seller by the day after the effective date, which is the date the contract has been signed by both the buyer and the seller, that means you were in breach immediately. The new rule gives you until the end of the next banking day. And bigger piece to this update, the seller can't just walk away from you. They have to send a written demand first, and that gives you one more banking day to deliver. Only after that does the seller have the right to terminate the contract, and they do have to do that in writing too. However, don't let it get to that. Don't make an offer on a house if those deposit amounts are not readily available. Quick pause here before the next part. If you're moving to the Charlotte area and you are not yet working with a real estate agent and you want to talk over your actual situation, your price range, your timeline, contact me using the information in the description. Okay, now let's get back to the earnest money. Most buyers think their earnest money is safe. In North Carolina, there's a moment in the deal where that can change. And it's the one date I make sure every client understands before they sign anything. In North Carolina, the standard contract says your loan is not a condition of the contract. Let me be clear. Your financing is not a contingency here the way it is in a lot of other states. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Your due diligence window closes. You move forward because your lender told you you're clear. 3 weeks later, underwriting kills the loan. You can't close. That earnest money now belongs to the seller. The real estate commission puts it plainly. Moving past due diligence means you're telling everyone you're confident that the loan is going to fund, and you're putting your earnest money at risk. So before that deadline, you can walk and get it back. After it, you lose it. This is why it is critical that you communicate with your lender and respond to all their requests immediately. There's a second way to lose it. If a buyer just refuses to deliver the due diligence fee, the seller can go after the earnest money and attorney fees. Please don't do this. So 2 checks, 2 different rules, 1 deadline that changes everything. You got it? 4 ways this process could go wrong for home buyers. 1 way is the inspection gets booked too late. Listen, your window starts on day 1 once the due diligence funds are cleared. When I'm working with a buyer, we are lining up an inspector before we write the offer. No exceptions. Way number 2 is asking for an extension at the last minute. If your loan is dragging or the inspector found something that needs a specialist, you ask by day 4 or 5, not day 14 at 4:45 p.m. A seller can say no to your request for an extension. Plan properly with your agent. The Real Estate Commission specifically warns that a denied extension can cost you your termination rights and your earnest money. Way number 3 is assuming new construction works the same way. It does not. Builders write their own contracts and structure deposits differently. Even more importantly, never, ever, ever walk into a new construction office alone. The representative sitting there works for the builder, not for you. This is not a process you want to go through without representation. So if you're interested in new construction, I have linked my video regarding the new construction process above. Go check it out. The 4th way, and this one is expensive. You write a big due diligence fee to win a competitive house. Then the inspection finds real problems. Active moisture in the crawl space, a system at the end of its life, maybe some foundation issues, but you buy it anyway. Not because it's the right house, but because you can't stand to lose the money you already spent. Deposits, inspections, appraisals. I've watched people make this decision and totally regret it. I really hope this was helpful. I know it's a lot of information. This is probably the least fun part of buying a house, but it's the part nobody walks you through until you're already sitting at the table with a pen in your hand. So do me a favor, drop a comment and tell me your biggest aha moment from this video. Your questions are where half of my videos come from, so drop them below. And if you know somebody buying in North Carolina right now, send them this video. It'll save them a conversation they really don't want to have later. If this was worth your time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's how I know what to make more of. And if you want to run your own situation by me, your price range, your timeline, whether you should buy resale or a new construction, contact me. My information is in the description, and I will see you in my next video.